head-on collision in Slayton sends at least 2 to the hospital. It happened just before 8:30. Now on to your big story tonight. President Obama on the road this week, taking on the price of college. I love that screaming. We're going to go from old to young, though, now. A woman gave birth to an almost 14-pound baby. And get this, without medication. Today, a family member of a victim gave us more insight into what happened inside that home and how the homeowner and the intruder knew each other. Apple's new iPhone went on sale today, and people started lining up early to get one. The Red Raider game kicks off in about an hour against the Oklahoma Sooners, and this year the matchup is in Norman, giving hundreds of people the chance to support numerous causes across the South Plains. Big water usage changes in store for Lubbock residents. The city signed new mandatory Stage 2 water restrictions into effect Friday. Yeah, that's a tough mom. Listen, if I could have had medication when I got my ears pierced, I would have raised my hand. So, let alone having a almost 14-pound child. Oh, goodness. Isn't that a mess when you're jealous of 2 inches of rain? We just need it. Anything. Your news is next. Police believe the student who was driving had possibly been drinking earlier, and now many are wondering, had he called Safe Ride instead? Clothing, something to sleep on, Evan and Terry, these are all things that lead investigators to believe someone is living in an abandoned home. Today, a grand jury decided there is enough evidence to take these 2 men to trial. And thieves took everything, and look at this. They took everything, and all they left was this little pink pig. Animal exhibitor says the kangaroos are fine, and it's just a comedy act, but PETA says just a simple agreement to trim this tree and a few others ended with the 82-year-old woman inside this home scammed out of $3,500. And get this, police say she is just the latest of many victims across the state of Texas. There is lots of excitement surrounding this year's game because fans want to be here if it is the last time these 2 teams play. What started as a break-in ended with a shootout. Police say a man forced his way into the back of this home right here on West Lynn Street, but it wasn't long before the homeowner himself actually came home and caught the intruder inside.
That's terrible. I mean, that's devastating, but that don't happen here. I mean, it shouldn't happen anywhere, but it doesn't happen here.
It's shocking. I mean, it's a nice neighborhood. I never expect nothing like that.
A triple shooting in this normally quiet Slayton neighborhood, and residents can't believe it all went down.
I hear a lady screaming for help. I came outside, I barely opened the door, and this lady's running across the street, you know, right here to the next door, crying for help, holding her side like she got shot.
Police say that woman had been shot. She, 51-year-old Edith Ayers, and 69-year-old Fred Melcher came home to an intruder. When confronted, the intruder shot both of them, but the homeowner, Melcher, quickly fired back.
And the homeowner shot and killed the intruder.
With the suspect dead, Melcher and Ayers were rushed to the hospital with serious and, in Melcher's condition, critical injuries. And now neighbors say this incident has made them more cautious and protective over their own families.
It's terrible that has to happen, that someone, you know, anyone has to be killed. I mean, it's really terrible.
Now, Melcher is still in critical and Ayers in serious condition, both at the hospital. Authorities aren't yet releasing the suspect's identity, and although they don't know the exact relationship, the suspects and Melcher's, they do know the suspect has been in the home before. Therefore, he knew exactly how to get around, and he knew where everything was. Just months ago, Tony Lusk was shot 5 times right here at this house while a child's birthday party went on just across the street. The shooter was her ex-boyfriend, and she says she never thought his verbal abuse would turn into him nearly killing her before turning the gun on himself.
Love can hurt you. Look what happened to me.
On February 19th, 29-year-old Tony Lusk's ex-boyfriend, Mac Jenkins Jr., knocked on her door.
I come at him like this. Boom! He shot me.
The bullet hit her in the chest and she fell to the bed.
And so when I come back out the bed, boom, he shoot again. It glazed me right here. And so by that time, I know he's serious.
She pushed him, then she just ran.
Boom! It glazed me and hit me right here. And so I'm still running for my life. Boom! That's when he paralyzed me. The bullet hit me right here in my spine. I kept trying to get up.
She heard Jenkins' footsteps getting closer.
And so I hurry up and I turn my body over and he come over me. Boom! He hit me in my head.
He then kicked her in the leg to make sure she was dead.
I'm just laying there playing like I'm dead. The only thing that I heard before he shot himself was, you know I loved you. Boom!
Jenkins shot himself in the head, then fell down right next to her. She started dragging her body across the floor looking for a phone.
And when I finally made it to my phone, I couldn't move no more because of the carpet. I was so tired. But by the time I got back to my room, all I had to do was just lean back like this, and my phone was right there, thank God. My mom was saying that the doctors was telling her to expect for me not to be here. I'm still here, well alive and kicking.
Lusk says Jenkins was always abusive. She says he even cut her before, but she always forgave him.
Why I never went through with pressing charges, and I was like, I don't know, which I don't know.
She wants her life to be a warning for other women in domestic violence relationships.
If you see it, I mean, get away from it. Just let him go, let him go.
Now, Lusk goes to therapy 3 times a week, and she says she will walk again. And she's already progressing because she can actually lift her left leg, and she couldn't do that months ago.
It is just incredible that she was even able to get to her phone, Brooke.
It wasn't. She says her phone actually saved her life twice because it blocked the first bullet from hitting her in her heart, and then it fell in a spot that was easy for her to reach later when she needed to call for help. Married couple Meredith and Casey Ledbetter have both been charged with the murder of 49-year-old Joni Deanne Parker. And this is the house where authorities believe her son, 25-year-old Derek Ryan Hale, was stabbed to death, also by the Ledbetters. Neighbors around here say the couple always acted strange, but they say this is unbelievable.
We didn't think they were real outstanding prominent citizens, but we didn't think they were murderers.
Johnny Withers and his wife Anna have lived in this neighborhood for 46 years. Authorities believe Casey Ledbetter stabbed and killed 25-year-old Derek Ryan Hale just 2 doors down from their home.
Unbelievable.
The Withers say Casey Ledbetter and his wife Meredith were quiet neighbors, but they always knew something was off.
She told us one story, told another neighbor a completely different story. You don't know what to believe.
According to arrest warrants, both Meredith and Casey have confessed to their parts in the deaths of Hale and his mother, 49-year-old Joni Deanne Parker.
Ultimately, I think once they spoke to their counsel, once they realized that we knew quite a bit more about what was going on, what had occurred out there in both these cases, at that point, they began to cooperate.
Also in the documents, Meredith admitted to helping lure Parker to the vacant house where Casey later killed the woman and stole $4,000 cash from her.
We are completely confident we have our 2 primary individuals.
Casey confessed to beating and stabbing Hale as well, but Sheriff Kelly Rose says the case isn't closed just yet.
We're still waiting on a lot of different results from a lot of different various forensic avenues on this, but at this point the district attorney was comfortable to go ahead and charge these 2 with the death of Joni Parker.
Now, the Ledbetters are both being held at the Lubbock County Jail on $500,000 bond, and they also are both expected to face charges in the death of Hale soon. Evan?